Indulge in rich caramels, chocolates, and mochas, guilt-free. With Natural Instincts, it's antioxidant-rich color, and the more often you use it, the healthier your hair looks. So you can satisfy your craving for color every month. Natural Instincts from Clairol, naturally.
Hi, I'm Cynthia Brown. Welcome to the UBU Network podcast. As always, we want to encourage everyone to make each day a better day. This week, Dawn discusses what makes America so great, keeps us up to date with her latest tech tip, and Dr. Kyle talks to us about keeping the promise. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hey, what are you doing?
Multitasking. While I'm talking to you, I'm also running a bunch of programs, doing a virus scan, and downloading a movie, all at the same time.
Wow, just don't forget to breathe.
New Intel Centrino 2.
Is America still the greatest nation on earth? Let's see what Dawn has to say. Back in a moment.
In order for things to work, it doesn't mean it has to have an uncomfortable feeling.
Crest Pro Health kills 99% of germs that can cause gingivitis, plaque, and bad breath without the burn of alcohol.
It really feels like it's working without the burning.
Crest Pro Health Rinse.
Even in the middle of the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression, Americans still believe that we're the greatest nation on earth. I agree, but let's take a closer look at what makes America so great. After all, we aren't the only democracy on earth. Most industrialized nations practice free market capitalism, and we're far from self-sufficient. We import our clothes, most of our energy, and even our favorite cars despite Detroit's best efforts. So what is it about this land of ours that makes it so very special? It may sound cliche, but what makes America extraordinary is a unique set of ideals that gives context to every undertaking and every decision we make. The context of freedom, equality, liberty, and justice held high above wealth, or even our very lives, sets the backdrop for hopes, for dreams, and most of all, for individual achievement. Almost every major innovation over the past 200 years was invented here, within our borders, from the light bulb to the internet. But what happens if Americans forget about freedom, equality, liberty, and justice? What happens if sexism and racism determine who we elect to the highest office? As we get closer to November 4th, some un-American sentiment has been exposed, and the scars of the past have been reopened for many who truly believed the American dream was for every American. On this election day, voters of different ages, genders, and races will make their choice, and history will tell how freedom broke through another great barrier once again. God bless America. Here's my tech tip for today. Email is a high-tech replacement for postal mail, and Voice over IP, also known as VoIP, is the Internet's replacement for standard phone service. Let's look at some of the advantages and disadvantages of Internet-based phone service. VoIP has been increasing in popularity because of its lower rates and portability. A VoIP number can be used anywhere in the world, provided you have a high-speed Internet connection, which underscores one of the limitations of this technology. If your internet service goes down, so does your phone service. Since most VoIP users also carry a mobile phone, the price breaks far outweigh this minor weakness. If you decide to become one of the millions of Americans who enjoy free international calling and the ability to make local calls from anywhere in the world, check the show notes for my list of great VoIP hardware and service providers. Until next time, I'm Dawn Whitaker.
Stay tuned as Dr. Kyle discusses our government and keeping the promise. Coming up next.
Wi-Fi signal check, testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. 1, 2, 3.
Read you loud and clear, good buddy.
New Intel Centrino 2.
Hi, I'm Dr. James Kyle. In 1944, the U.S. government passed a landmark legislation known as the GI Bill. This legislation opened up educational opportunities to veterans in the form of college scholarships, which were good at any school in the nation. By 1947, half of the nation's college students were veterans. The GI Bill also provided low-interest, no-money-down mortgages to vets, which enabled many to own their first homes. Unfortunately, its intent was tarnished by racism and segregation. Minority vets benefited far less than whites for decades. Yet the seeds of America's white middle class were planted by the GI Bill. And why not? These brave Americans of all races place everything on the line to defend our freedom and our way of life. They fought and died to rid the world of despotism and genocide. But you don't drive a 1944 car. And why should we assume that the current GI Bill is any more desirable? Its benefits have fallen far behind the real cost of obtaining a college education. The housing provisions are barely adequate to purchase today's overpriced homes. So now, with a new generation of veterans returning home and welcomed as heroes, what do we owe them? Surely they deserve the opportunity to put their lives back together, to gain an affordable education, to live in safe neighborhoods. A new GI Bill is being considered by Congress, which still offers far less than its original predecessor. For all they have given us, can't we at least give them a fair break? They promised to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. What a shame that after they kept their promise, their last enemy may just be an ungrateful nation. I'm Dr. James Kyle.
Thanks so much for joining us today. We hope you've enjoyed our podcast as much as we've enjoyed bringing it to you. Remember, try to become the kind of person who brightens a room just by entering it. Until next time, I'm Cynthia Brown.